It's After Hours with Amy Lawrence on CBS Sports Radio. And of course, we're doing a ton of basketball and hockey playoffs, but the NFL draft is right around the corner. Excited to have Blake Jarwin, former Oklahoma State tight end, all Big 12 tight end, with us now on the show. Blake, here we are. We're getting so close to this moment where you find out which team selects you in the NFL draft, and you've been working hard at it since your football season ended. So what have these last couple months of preparation been like for you?
Yeah, it's been quite the whirlwind. Starting off right after our bowl game at Oklahoma State, I jumped right into the East-West game, and so that was kind of my first taste of the next level of competition. Even though it's not completely there, you're starting to get guys that are better off in every position available at the game, and that happened, and then went home and felt good about my performance there. And immediately, about a week later, I think Thursday, right before the Senior Bowl, I got called up to go up there. And so, Kelly hooked that up for me, and I jumped right on a plane and got there that day and, played actually, the next day. So it was a quick turnaround for me. But after that, then I kind of settled down and started working towards pro day. And, that was quite a different change of pace as well, going from football performance to really working on drills and, stuff like that, catching balls every day, running 40s, running shuttle time, stuff like that. I think overall I did a great job. My coach back at Oklahoma State, our strength coach, Coach Glass, he does a great job with all of us, just kind of keeping us in shape and pushing us to be our best. And I owe him and Coach Gundy and all the other coaches, everything. They've helped me even more through this process, I think, than they did when I was playing for them, which has been awesome. Right after pro day, I jumped in and had the opportunity to go down to San Diego, meet with the Chargers for a weekend. And I've also been to Indianapolis since then. So it's been a cool experience. It's definitely been, a roller coaster up and down, and always trying to, stay motivated. It's been kind of a long process as well. So, now I'm just kind of waiting for these next week and a half, and we'll see what happens.
It's getting closer. What is the toughest part? As you say, you're changing your focus now. It's not about game prep and lining up across the line of scrimmage from an opponent in college. You're focusing on the next stage where you'd be playing football for a living. So what's the challenge as you meet with teams and look ahead to that?
I think for coming from a spread offense, even jumping into the East-West game, I found a lot more, pro style play of football, which is, not necessarily, I'm not shy of that or anything. It's just something I haven't, I haven't been rooted in. So it'll be definitely, it'll be a learning curve at first, but I'm excited for it. I've always taken things head on like that. I even walked on all those years ago, actually, at Oklahoma State. So I've kind of, always looked at a challenge, and I've been excited about every single one of them. So I think that'll be, one thing I have to continue to work on is putting my hand down on the ground and blocking people. But I'm excited about it. I like to think that I can, fight with the best of them.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned walk-on because I was going there next. So that's how you start your football career. And then you get a scholarship. You turn into an all Big 12 tight end. Now here you are trying to find a team to hook on with in the NFL. Got this hybrid position, trying to stay versatile. How much has this process taught you about football, but also about life?
Oh, it's definitely been a life, learning experience. Everything that goes into this, it's, being disciplined and practicing and working out every day and using my work ethic to, help me hopefully get drafted here in a few days. So it's been more than just football. It's been really, starting a career path, starting something that's going to mean something in the long run rather than just playing a game now. So it's taught me a lot, and I'm excited. Hopefully I get to play the game for many more years, but if not, at least I have these tools that I've built throughout the past few months to really propel me in my career going forward.
Spending a few minutes with Blake Jarwin, former Oklahoma State tight end, all Big 12, and now just a week and a half away from the NFL draft. It's After Hours with Amy Lawrence, CBS Sports Radio. So why walk on at Oklahoma State? Why Stillwater?
Well, actually, I emailed them in Oklahoma to see if, maybe I would have an opportunity to come walk on there, and they emailed me back. They said I could come up there and kind of check out the facilities, and that I wasn't promised anything. I'd still have to try out when school started, but that was enough to motivate me to go up there. And somehow, I guess they needed an extra guy on the scout team, but I got the opportunity to come up there and be a part of the football team.
Pretty amazing place to play, too, Stillwater in Oklahoma State. So after walking on, what was it like to finally get on the field, get your first playing time, and then touch the ball for the first time?
Oh, it's just something that I'll always cherish. The hard work that it took, the mindset of always pushing and just sticking with it. And I remember the first time I ever got a ball was our first game of 2013 it was 2014, where we played Florida State right after they had won the national championship the year prior. And we had Tyreek Hill back there, and they pooch kicked it to me on kickoff return later on in the game, and that was my first taste of college football. And I don't even remember it. I remember getting up and tossing the ball to the referee, and that was the start of it all. And I was blessed, to have a few touchdowns throughout my career, and also those. I don't remember too much of it, but I do remember how awesome it was and the feeling of everybody, being around me and my teammates celebrating with me, which is, all I can ask for.
I love that the first time you touched the ball, it was to field a pooch kick. Blake, who else has that story?
Right, yeah, it was. I better catch this or I'll never play again. Was kind of what was going through my mind.
Well, it all worked out great. You caught it, and you're all good. So, Blake, I've been doing some research and reading what some of the analysts say about where you might go in the draft and also what your strengths and weaknesses are as a hybrid position, some fullback, some tight end. But from your perspective, what are your greatest assets to offer to an NFL team?
Yeah, I think that even though I only had, 19 catches this past year, I think I catch the ball remarkably well. I can, make things happen. I had a lot of third down conversions, I think, where I got the ball short in the flats, and I was able to, convert up for 10 or 15 yards if I had to. Also, I think, one of the biggest things would be that I played so many positions coming out of Oklahoma State. Had the opportunity to play some, fullback in the backfield, some wing, some tight end, some inside receivers, some outside receivers. So I was really all over the place. I think that kind of helped me learn through the process of kind of how to just, play multiple positions. So no matter what, if I'm, some teams may only decide to use me as more of a tight end, but if they need me out there at receiver some plays and, fullback the next, I'm always available to do something like that. And I like to think that, I'm a small-town kid from Oklahoma. We're not afraid of any challenge. So I'm excited to hopefully get an opportunity.
I have been to Tuttle, Oklahoma, but for people who have not, what's Tuttle like, Blake?
Tuttle is, I don't know if anybody out there knows what Brahms is. That's an ice cream, franchise out here, and that's kind of all we got going on right now. We got a lot of farming, and we got we're proud of our Brahms. That's about all that I can say about our town. But just a lot of small town good people. That I owe a lot of support to my high school coaches. They helped develop me into the person and give me the mindset to push through the hard times and celebrate the good times. So a lot of credit to them out there, and just everybody around me, my parents, the rest of my family, all my friends. They've been so supportive through all this process, and I hope I can just continue to make them proud.
It sure is nice when everyone in town knows your name, knows who you are. Blake Jarwin of Tuttle, Oklahoma, and then Oklahoma State is looking ahead to the NFL draft, hoping to be selected as a tight end fullback hybrid. It's After Hours with Amy Lawrence on CBS Sports Radio. So thinking about your position at the next level, who are some of the tight ends that you admire and that you think are really great at that position?
I think Travis Kelce does a great job at the Chiefs. That guy's younger and just does a great job of getting open and making plays on his feet, catching the ball. Other guys I've always looked up to, of course, is Jason Witten and Brent Selleck from the Eagles. He does a great job. Those guys have, stayed at it for 14 years, whatever it is. I don't even know. And they just do such a great job. And, they're out there and they've been there for a long time for a reason. And so there's a lot to learn from those guys. And the wisdom they have is incredible. I would, hopefully one of these days I'll have the opportunity to meet them and just kind of learn from them.
So you're leaving a place in Oklahoma where football is king. It's part of the daily fabric of every sports fan's life there year round. For people who don't know, what is it like to play football at either OU or be a Cowboy at Oklahoma State?
Oh, college football, yeah, that's all you got. We don't have any pro teams here, but the Thunder now, but no pro football team. So it's, like you said, every time I get on social media, I see something, whether it be during spring ball or during the off season at any time, or especially during the season. We're always getting updates about everything going on. So it's definitely, like you said, a year-long thing. And, people here are super proud of both, OSU, Oklahoma, Tulsa. I mean, that's all that's what the people, group to. And it's created quite the rivalry between us and Oklahoma, of course, going on for so long. But I think that's kind of one thing, you live for as a player that goes to OU or OSU, those competitions, which, I didn't have as many go my way, but I know that just makes the younger guys that much more hungry at OSU. And so I'm excited to see them continue to play, and hopefully they can get one this coming year.
Well, for a young guy who's never played in it, or for a fan who's never seen it, how would you describe Bedlam?
It is. That's the most energy I've been around. Even Colorado going to the Alamo Bowl was very close, but I think that playing OU this past year, we definitely, both teams had a lot of energy. They had a great game and ended up, coming on top. But it doesn't mean we don't shy away coming the next year. So I'm excited to see what the guys do. Hopefully, I can kind of be around at that time of the year and maybe just poke around some of the players' ears and see what they're thinking and stuff like that, just to kind of still see if I can stay in that get that energy from them, because it's an incredible feeling. And like I said, I can't wait to watch it. I think it's earlier on in this year, but it's still going to be a good game.
Well, and if you're lucky, you'll get a passionate fan base at the next level, too. You mentioned Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs. They've got some phenomenal fans and a great home field advantage. So here we are, a week and a half away. The NFL draft is looming. Are you getting nervous?
Yeah, definitely getting a little nervous, anxious, nervous, all of it. Just trying to always stay next to my phone if anybody needs me for anything, or if I need to, make sure people have the right phone number to contact me, and whatever I can do to continue to help myself just, get to that next step. So I'm getting pretty close, and I think those 3 or 4 days previous, I won't be able to sleep at all, but that's all right. I'll just keep working hard until then and just try to keep focused on the goal.
Well, you don't have much longer to wait. After all these months of preparation, it's finally here. Blake Jarwin out of Oklahoma State, all Big 12 tight end, is anticipating the NFL draft that comes up next week. Thanks so much for a couple of minutes. We look forward to talking to you after we've seen these NFL dreams come true.
It's nice to talk to you. Thank you for having me on.